Hello, everyone, and welcome to Learnify English. My name is Lauren, and I am so excited to be your English teacher today. Thank you for joining me here, because in this lesson, we are going to dive into one of the most powerful parts of the English language. We are going to study 50 phrasal verbs that you must know if you want to speak English like a native. Now, you might be asking yourself, what exactly are phrasal verbs, and why are they so important? Well, let me tell you. Phrasal verbs are combinations of simple verbs with little words, usually prepositions or adverbs, like up, down, out, off, or in. But when you put them together, they create new meanings. For example, you know the verb look. But if you say look after, it means to take care of someone. If you say look forward to, it means you are excited about something in the future. These little changes make a huge difference. Native speakers use phrasal verbs all the time. In fact, when you watch movies, listen to music, or read conversations between native English speakers, you will hear phrasal verbs in almost every sentence. That is why sometimes English feels confusing, because the words you already know are used in ways you did not expect. But here is the good news. If you can learn phrasal verbs step by step and practice them with examples, you will start to understand English much faster. More than that, you will sound more natural, more fluent, and more confident when you speak. And that is exactly what we are going to do in this video. Together, we will go through 50 phrasal verbs. I will explain their meanings clearly, give you simple examples, and repeat them enough so that you can really feel comfortable using them. By the end of this lesson, you will not only understand these phrasal verbs, but you will also know how to use them in your daily conversations. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to stay with me until the end. This video is designed for you to practice listening, repeat the examples, and get better every minute. If you want to improve your English, you need to keep listening, keep practicing, and keep repeating. And one more thing. Please give this video a like and make sure to subscribe to Learnify English. By subscribing, you will always be able to join my lessons, learn more, and continue your English journey with me. All right, let's get started. The first phrasal verb we will learn today is wake up. Wake up means to stop sleeping. For example, I can say, I wake up at 7 o'clock every morning, or she woke up late today because she forgot to set her alarm. Notice how simple it is. Wake up is about moving from sleep to being awake. You can practice by repeating, I wake up early, I wake up late. Please wake up now. The second phrasal verb is get up. Now, get up is a little different from wake up. Wake up means you open your eyes, but get up means you actually leave your bed. So, you can wake up at 7, but you might not get up until 7:30. For example, I wake up at 7, but I get up at 7:30. Or, she doesn't like to get up on Mondays. Repeat with me. I get up, you get up, he gets up, we get up late on weekends. The third phrasal verb is give up. This one is very common, and it means to stop trying, to quit. For example, don't give up on your dreams. Or, he gave up smoking last year. This is very powerful in motivational speech. You will often hear teachers, coaches, and friends saying, never give up. So repeat with me, I never give up. You should not give up. He gave up too soon. The fourth phrasal verb is make up. Now, make up has different meanings depending on the context. The first meaning is to invent a story or an excuse. For example, the child made up a story about a dragon, or he made up an excuse for being late. Another meaning is to reconcile after an argument. For example, they had a fight, but then they made up. You can practice both. Don't make up stories. Let's make up after the fight. The fifth phrasal verb is pick up. This one is used all the time. Pick up means to take something from the ground or from a surface. For example, pick up your toys from the floor. It also means to collect someone. For example, I will pick up my friend from the airport. And finally, it can mean to learn something without formal study. For example, she picked up Spanish while living in Mexico. Repeat. I pick up my phone. I pick up my daughter. I pick up new words. The sixth phrasal verb is turn on. This one is easy to understand. It means to start a machine, a light, or electronic equipment. For example, please turn on the lights. Or, he turned on the TV to watch the news. Practice. Turn on the computer. Turn on the fan. Turn on the music. The seventh phrasal verb is turn off. This is the opposite. Turn off means to stop the machine, the light, or the equipment. For example, don't forget to turn off the lights when you leave the room. Or, she turned off her phone before the meeting. Repeat. Turn off the radio. Turn off the heater. Turn off the car. The eighth phrasal verb is put on. Put on means to place clothes or accessories on your body. For example, she put on her jacket because it was cold. Or, he put on his shoes before going outside. Repeat. I put on a hat. You put on glasses. They put on their coats. The ninth phrasal verb is take off. This is the opposite of put on. It means to remove clothes or accessories. For example, please take off your shoes before entering the house. Or, he took off his jacket because it was hot. Take off is also used for airplanes when they leave the ground. For example, the plane will take off at 9 p.m. Repeat. I take off my coat. The plane takes off. And finally, the 10th phrasal verb for today is carry on. This means to continue. For example, she carried on working even though she was tired. Or, the teacher told the students to carry on with their project. Repeat. Carry on with your studies. Carry on speaking. Carry on learning English. So today, in this first part, you have already learned 10 powerful phrasal verbs. Wake up, get up, give up, make up, pick up, turn on, turn off, put on, take off, and carry on. Practice them, repeat them, and try to use them in your daily life. The more you repeat, the faster you will remember. We will continue with more phrasal verbs that will make your English sound even more natural. You learned 10 important phrasal verbs, and now we are going to continue with more. Remember, phrasal verbs are everywhere in English. The more you listen and practice, the more natural your English will sound. So let's carry on with our next group. The 11th phrasal verb is look after. This means to take care of someone or something. For example, she looks after her little brother when their parents are at work. Or, can you look after my cat while I'm on vacation? Repeat with me. I look after my family. You look after your friends. Nurses look after patients. The 12th phrasal verb is look for. This one means to search for something. For example, I am looking for my keys. I can't find them. Or, he is looking for a new job. Repeat. I look for my phone. She looks for her wallet. We look for information online. The 13th phrasal verb is look forward to. This is a very positive one. It means to be excited about something in the future. For example, I look forward to meeting you. Or, they are looking forward to the holidays. Repeat with me. I look forward to my birthday. She looks forward to the weekend. We look forward to learning more English. The 14th phrasal verb is run out of. This means you no longer have something because you used it all. For example, we ran out of milk, so I need to go to the store. Or, she ran out of money while traveling. Repeat. I ran out of time. He ran out of paper. We ran out of water. The 15th phrasal verb is catch up. This means to reach the same level or position as someone else. For example, after being sick, he worked hard to catch up with his classmates. Or, let's meet for coffee and catch up. Repeat. I catch up with my work. She catches up on her reading. We catch up with old friends. The 16th phrasal verb is breakdown. This is usually used with machines, especially cars. It means to stop working. For example, my car broke down on the way to work, or the elevator broke down yesterday. It can also mean to lose control emotionally. For example, she broke down and cried. Repeat. The bus broke down. The computer broke down. He broke down in tears. The 17th phrasal verb is break up. This means to end a relationship. For example, they broke up after 3 years together. It can also mean that a meeting or gathering ends. For example, the party broke up at midnight. Repeat. They broke up. The meeting broke up. The band broke up. The 18th phrasal verb is set up. This means to arrange or organize something. For example, she set up a new company, or he set up the chairs for the meeting. Repeat. I set up my computer. She sets up her phone. They set up a business. The 19th phrasal verb is take care of. This is similar to look after, but often used for responsibilities. For example, I need to take care of my homework before I go out. Or, he takes care of his grandparents. Repeat. Take care of yourself. Take care of your health. Take care of your responsibilities. The 20th phrasal verb is find out. This means to discover information. For example, I just found out that my friend is moving. Or, she found out the truth about the situation. Repeat. I found out yesterday. He finds out the answer. We will find out soon. The 21st phrasal verb is take out. This means to remove something from somewhere. For example, he took out his phone from his pocket. Or, she took out the trash. It can also mean to invite someone, especially for a meal. For example, he took her out to dinner. Repeat. Take out your book. Take out your money. Take me out tonight. The 22nd phrasal verb is bring up. This means to start talking about a topic. For example, she brought up the subject of money at the meeting. Or, don't bring up politics at dinner. Repeat. He brought up a question. She brings up a new idea. They brought up the problem. The 23rd phrasal verb is grow up. This means to become an adult. For example, I grew up in a small town. Or, she wants to be a doctor when she grows up. Repeat. I grew up here. He is growing up fast. Where did you grow up? The 24th phrasal verb is show up. This means to arrive or appear. For example, he showed up late to the party. Or, she always shows up on time. Repeat. I show up early. He showed up yesterday. They didn't show up. The 25th phrasal verb is work out. This has two meanings. The first is to exercise. For example, she works out at the gym 3 times a week. The second is to solve a problem. For example, they worked out a solution to the issue. Repeat. I work out every day. He worked out the answer. Things will work out fine. Now, let's quickly review what you learned in this part. We covered look after, look for, look forward to, run out of, catch up, break down, break up, set up, take care of, find out, take out, bring up, grow up, show up, and work out. That's 15 more phrasal verbs added to the 10 from part 1. You now know 25 phrasal verbs, and we are only halfway through. We will keep moving forward with more everyday phrasal verbs that you will hear constantly in conversations with native speakers. You are doing amazing so far. We have already learned 25 phrasal verbs together, and now it's time to continue with more. Remember, the secret to mastering phrasal verbs is not only listening, but also repeating and using them in your own sentences. So, as you listen to me, say them out loud, practice them, and imagine yourself using them in real conversations. Let's keep going. The 26th phrasal verb is hang out. This means to spend time relaxing with friends or family. For example, on weekends, I like to hang out with my friends at the park. Or, she hangs out at the coffee shop after class. Repeat after me. I hang out with my family. They hang out at the mall. Let's hang out tomorrow. The 27th phrasal verb is hang up. This means to end a phone call. For example, she was angry, so she hung up the phone. Or, don't hang up. I still need to talk to you. Repeat. He hung up. Don't hang up. She hangs up quickly. The 28th phrasal verb is call off. This means to cancel something. For example, they called off the meeting because the manager was sick. Or, the game was called off due to rain. Repeat with me. I call off the trip. They called off the wedding. The event was called off. The 29th phrasal verb is put off. This means to delay or postpone something. For example, she put off her homework until the last minute. Or, he put off visiting the doctor. Repeat. Don't put off your studies. He put off the trip. They put off making a decision. The 30th phrasal verb is take over. This means to take control or responsibility for something. For example, when the manager left, she took over the project. Or, a larger company took over the small business. Repeat. I will take over. He took over the class. The company took over another company. The 31st phrasal verb is give back. This means to return something to the owner. For example, please give back my book. Or, she gave back the money she borrowed. Repeat. I give back what I borrow. He gave back the keys. They gave back the tickets. The 32nd phrasal verb is pay back. This also means to return money that you owe. For example, he paid back the loan. Or, I will pay you back tomorrow. Repeat. I pay back my debt. She pays back quickly. He paid back his friend. The 33rd phrasal verb is cut off. This has several meanings. One is to interrupt someone while speaking. For example, don't cut me off while I'm talking. Another is to stop the supply of something. For example, the company cut off the electricity because the bill was not paid. Repeat. He cut me off. They cut off the water. Don't cut off the conversation. The 34th phrasal verb is cut down on. This means to reduce the amount of something. For example, I need to cut down on sugar. Or, she is trying to cut down on expenses. Repeat. I cut down on coffee. He cut down on smoking. They cut down on spending. The 35th phrasal verb is calm down. This means to relax after being upset or angry. For example, please calm down. Everything will be fine. Or, he calmed down after talking to his friend. Repeat. Calm down. Don't worry. She calms down quickly. He calmed down at last. The 36th phrasal verb is cheer up. This means to become happier, or to make someone else happier. For example, she cheered up when she saw her best friend. Or, let's cheer him up with some good news. Repeat. Cheer up. It's okay. He cheered up yesterday. They cheer up their friend. The 37th phrasal verb is come across. This means to find something by chance. For example, I came across an old photo in my drawer. Or, she came across a great restaurant in the city. Repeat. I came across a book. He comes across as kind. We came across something interesting. The 38th phrasal verb is come up with. This means to think of an idea or a solution. For example, she came up with a great plan. Or, he came up with a new design. Repeat. I come up with ideas. They came up with a solution. She comes up with suggestions. The 39th phrasal verb is fill in. This means to complete something, usually a form or information. For example, please fill in this form. Or, he filled in the missing details. Repeat. I fill in the blanks. She fills in the form. They filled in the questionnaire. The 40th phrasal verb is fill out. This is very similar to fill in and is often used for forms or applications. For example, she filled out a job application. Or, you need to fill out the survey. Repeat. Fill out the form. He filled out the paper. They fill out documents. Now let's pause for a quick review. In this part, you learned 15 more phrasal verbs. Hang out, hang up, call off, put off, take over, give back, pay back, cut off, cut down on, calm down, cheer up, come across, come up with, fill in, and fill out. That brings your total to 40 phrasal verbs so far. We will learn the last group of phrasal verbs that are extremely common in daily life. These will complete our set of 50, and they will give you a powerful tool set to speak English like a native. You have already learned 40 phrasal verbs, and that is an amazing achievement. If you've made it this far, I want to congratulate you. Now, in this part, we are going to complete the list with the final 10 phrasal verbs. These are very common in everyday English, and you will hear them in conversations, movies, and songs all the time. Let's finish strong. The 41st phrasal verb is get along with. This means to have a good relationship with someone. For example, I get along with my classmates very well. Or, she doesn't get along with her neighbor. Repeat, I get along with my coworkers. They get along with their teacher. We don't get along with everyone. The 42nd phrasal verb is go over. This means to review or check something carefully. For example, let's go over the details before we sign the contract. Or, the teacher went over the answers with the students. Repeat, I go over my notes. He goes over the report. We went over the plan. The 43rd phrasal verb is go on. This means to continue. For example, please go on. I'm listening. Or, the show must go on. Repeat, go on with your work. He went on talking. They go on without stopping. The 44th phrasal verb is keep on. This also means to continue doing something, often with determination. For example, she kept on studying even when she was tired. Or, he keeps on calling me. Repeat, I keep on practicing. She kept on working. They keep on learning. The 45th phrasal verb is hold on. This means to wait for a short time. For example, hold on, I'll be ready in a minute. Or, can you hold on while I get my notes? Repeat, hold on, please. He held on for help. We hold on to hope. The 46th phrasal verb is look out. This means to be careful or pay attention. For example, look out. There's a car coming. Or, she looked out for her little sister. Repeat, look out for danger. He looks out for his friends. We looked out at the view. The 47th phrasal verb is put out. This means to extinguish or stop something burning. For example, the firefighters put out the fire. Or, please put out your cigarette. Repeat, put out the fire. She put out the candle. He puts out the light. The 48th phrasal verb is take back. This means to return something or admit that something said was wrong. For example, I want to take back the shoes I bought yesterday. Or, he took back what he said. Repeat, I take back my words. She took back the dress. They take back the books. The 49th phrasal verb is throw away. This means to put something in the trash. For example, don't throw away your old clothes. You can donate them. Or, he threw away the broken toy. Repeat, I throw away garbage. She threw away the letter. They throw away too much food. And the 50th phrasal verb is show off. This means to try to impress others by displaying something. For example, he likes to show off his new car. Or, she showed off her singing skills at the party. Repeat, don't show off. He shows off his strength. They showed off their project. And there you have it, 50 powerful phrasal verbs that will help you sound more natural and fluent in English. Let's quickly review the 10 from this part. Get along with, go over, go on, keep on, hold on, look out, put out, take back, throw away, and show off. Combined with the previous parts, that makes all 50 phrasal verbs complete. But our journey doesn't stop here. Learning phrasal verbs is not just about memorizing. You need to practice them, use them in sentences, and repeat them until they feel natural. One of the best ways is to take 2 or 3 phrasal verbs every day and try to use them in conversations with friends, in your writing, or even by speaking out loud to yourself. In the next parts of this lesson, we will not stop at just explaining phrasal verbs. I will guide you through extended practice, give you listening and speaking exercises, and show you how to combine these phrasal verbs naturally in real-life sentences. That way, this lesson will not only give you knowledge, but also practice, confidence, and fluency. We will start using these phrasal verbs in longer examples, real conversations, and practice exercises designed to help you speak English like a native. Congratulations on reaching this stage. You now know 50 essential phrasal verbs. But as I always say, knowledge alone is not enough. To truly master English, you need practice, repetition, and application. In this part, I will guide you through practical ways to use these phrasal verbs in sentences, short examples, and daily conversations. The goal is to help you feel comfortable and confident using them in your real life. Let's begin with a short warm-up. I will say a phrasal verb and then give you a sentence. After that, I want you to repeat the sentence out loud with me. This will train both your listening and your speaking. First, wake up. Repeat after me. I wake up at 7 every morning. Again, I wake up at 7 every morning. Excellent. Next, get up. Repeat. I get up after my alarm rings. Once more. I get up after my alarm rings. Perfect. Now, give up. Say, I never give up on my dreams. Again, I never give up on my dreams. Let's continue with makeup. Repeat. The boy made up a funny story. Again, the boy made up a funny story. Next, pick up. Say, I will pick up my friend from the station. Again, I will pick up my friend from the station. Great. Do you feel how natural it becomes when you repeat? That is exactly how you should practice every day. Now let's practice with some longer sentences, so you can see how phrasal verbs fit into conversations. Listen carefully. I was running late for work, but luckily my colleague picked me up in his car. Now repeat. I was running late for work, but luckily my colleague picked me up in his car. Another one. She looked after her younger brother while her parents went out. Repeat. She looked after her younger brother while her parents went out. Let's try with run out of. Listen. We ran out of milk, so we couldn't make coffee. Now you. We ran out of milk, so we couldn't make coffee. One more. After a long argument, they finally made up and became friends again. Repeat. After a long argument, they finally made up and became friends again. You are doing fantastic. Now let's step it up with a practice story. I will tell you a short story using several phrasal verbs. I want you to listen first, and then I will repeat slowly so you can say it with me. Here is the story. Yesterday, I woke up late and didn't get up until 9. I was in a hurry, so I quickly put on my clothes and ran to the bus stop. Unfortunately, the bus broke down, and I had to call off my morning meeting. I tried not to give up, so I carried on with my work from home. Later, my friend showed up and cheered me up. We went out for coffee, and while we were hanging out, I came across a great new bookstore. I picked up a few books, and then we went home. Even though the day started badly, it worked out in the end. Now, let's go sentence by sentence together. Repeat. Yesterday, I woke up late and didn't get up until 9. Next, I was in a hurry, so I quickly put on my clothes and ran to the bus stop. Now, unfortunately, the bus broke down, and I had to call off my morning meeting. Next, I tried not to give up, so I carried on with my work from home. Say, later, my friend showed up and cheered me up. Now, we went out for coffee, and while we were hanging out, I came across a great new bookstore. Next, I picked up a few books, and then we went home. Finally, even though the day started badly, it worked out in the end. Excellent! That is how you should practice listening, repeating, and speaking out loud. The more you do this, the more fluent you will become. Now, let's do a little exercise. I will give you a sentence with a missing part, and I want you to fill it with the correct phrasal verb. I'll give you the answer after a pause so you can test yourself. Number 1. She was very sad, so I tried to I saw her up. Did you say cheer her up? That's correct. She was very sad, so I tried to cheer her up. Number 2. The teacher told us to issue out the form. Did you say fill out? Yes, that's right. The teacher told us to fill out the form. Number 3. We didn't have enough water because we has out of it. The correct answer is ran out. Repeat. We ran out of it. Number 4. I can't believe he just up the phone without saying goodbye. The answer is hung up. Repeat. He just hung up the phone. And number 5. After years of hard work, she finally backed up with a great idea for her business. The answer is came up with excellent work. This kind of exercise is powerful because it makes your brain remember the right phrasal verb in the right situation. We are going to continue practicing by creating longer practice conversations and example situations where phrasal verbs naturally appear. This will train your listening, speaking, and thinking skills at the same time. You now know the meanings of 50 phrasal verbs, and you've already practiced them in short sentences and a short story. But the real power of phrasal verbs comes when you use them in conversations. English learners often struggle because they know vocabulary, but they don't know how to connect words naturally in speech. That's why, in this part, I will guide you through longer example conversations. I will speak slowly, clearly, and repeat key sentences so you can practice with me. Let's begin with a simple everyday situation. Meeting a friend after work. Listen to the short dialogue. Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thanks. I just got off work. Oh, really? Did you finish the project? Not yet. I ran out of time today, but I'll catch up tomorrow. Okay, don't give up. You'll finish soon. Thanks. Do you want to hang out after dinner? Sure. I'll pick you up at 7. Perfect. I'll look forward to it. Now let's repeat the key phrasal verbs from this dialogue together. I just got off work. Repeat. I just got off work. I ran out of time today. Repeat. I ran out of time today. I'll catch up tomorrow. Repeat. I'll catch up tomorrow. Don't give up. Repeat. Don't give up. Do you want to hang out after dinner? Repeat. Do you want to hang out after dinner? I'll pick you up at 7. Repeat. I'll pick you up at 7. I'll look forward to it. Repeat. I'll look forward to it. Do you see how natural these phrasal verbs sound in conversation? They are short, simple, and powerful. Now let's try another situation. At the office. Listen carefully. My computer broke down this morning. Oh no! Did you call the IT department? Yes, but they told me to fill out a repair form. That's frustrating. Did you finish your report? Not yet. I had to put it off until tomorrow. That's okay. We'll go over it later. Thanks for understanding. I'll make it up to you. Let's repeat together. My computer broke down this morning. Repeat. My computer broke down this morning. They told me to fill out a repair form. Repeat. They told me to fill out a repair form. I had to put it off until tomorrow. Repeat. I had to put it off until tomorrow. We'll go over it later. Repeat. We'll go over it later. I'll make it up to you. Repeat. I'll make it up to you. Perfect. These are sentences you might actually hear in a workplace, and they are full of phrasal verbs. Now let's move to a travel situation. Listen to this story. Last week, I was at the airport. I had to check in early, but the flight was called off because of bad weather. I didn't want to give up on my trip, so I looked for another flight. Luckily, I came across a ticket online, and I booked it. The next day, I got up very early, packed up my bags, and went to the airport again. This time, the plane took off on time, And everything worked out. Now let's break it down. I had to check in early. Repeat. I had to check in early. The flight was called off. Repeat. The flight was called off. I didn't want to give up on my trip. Repeat. I didn't want to give up on my trip. I looked for another flight. Repeat. I looked for another flight. I came across a ticket online. Repeat. I came across a ticket online. The plane took off on time. Repeat. The plane took off on time. Everything worked out. Repeat. Everything worked out. Excellent! This shows how phrasal verbs are part of daily activities like traveling. Now let's try something a little more challenging. A phone conversation. Listen. Hi. Is this Mark? Yes. Speaking. Hey Mark. It's me. I wanted to bring up the topic of our group project. Sure. Go on. I think we should set up a meeting this weekend. That's a good idea. What time? How about Saturday afternoon? Sounds good. By the way, sorry I didn't show up yesterday. Something came up. No problem. We'll work it out this weekend. Now repeat the important phrasal verbs. I wanted to bring up the topic. Repeat. I wanted to bring up the topic. Sure. Go on. Repeat. Sure. Go on. We should set up a meeting. Repeat. We should set up a meeting. Sorry I didn't show up yesterday. Repeat. Sorry I didn't show up yesterday. Something came up. Repeat. Something came up. We'll work it out this weekend. Repeat. We'll work it out this weekend. Perfect. These conversations prove that phrasal verbs are the building blocks of everyday English. They make your speech more natural, and they help you connect with people better. We are going to move deeper into practice by creating short role-play exercises. I will describe situations, and you will respond using phrasal verbs. This will test your memory and help you think in English. Now that you know all 50 phrasal verbs and have practiced them in sentences and conversations, it's time to make your learning active. This part will focus on role-play exercises. Even though we are not speaking with another person right now, I want you to imagine real-life situations and respond using phrasal verbs. Speak out loud as you practice. The more you use these verbs actively, the faster you will remember them. Let's start with a common scenario. At home. Imagine you are talking to a family member about your day. I will give you the prompt, and then I want you to respond aloud, using a phrasal verb from our list. Prompt 1. Your friend asks, "Why are you so tired?" Your response could be, "I woke up late and didn't get up until 9. Prompt 2. Your sibling says, "Did you finish your homework?" Respond, "No, I put it off until tonight." Prompt 3. Your mom says, "Don't forget to clean your room." Respond, "I'll pick up my toys right now." Prompt 4. Your dad asks, "Are you ready for the family trip?" Respond, "Yes, I packed up my bag yesterday." Great. Notice how natural these phrasal verbs feel when you place them in real-life situations. Next, let's try at work or school. Imagine your teacher or boss talking to you. I'll give prompts, and you respond with phrasal verbs. Prompt 1. Your boss says, "Did you finish the report?" Respond, "Not yet, but I will catch up tomorrow." Prompt 2. Your colleague says, "Why are you stressed?" Respond, "The printer broke down, so I had to call off my morning tasks." Prompt 3. Your teacher says, "Remember to submit the form." Respond, "I'll fill it out right now." Prompt 4. Your classmate says, "Let's review the lesson together." Respond, "Sure. We can go over the notes." Perfect. Using phrasal verbs in these role-play exercises helps you connect the word with an action or situation. Now let's practice with friends. Imagine planning a weekend together. Prompt 1. Your friend says, "Do you want to meet tomorrow?" Respond, "Yes, I'll pick you up at 3. Prompt 2. Your friend says, "I can't decide where to go." Respond, "No problem. Let's come up with a plan together. Prompt 3. Your friend says, I didn't bring my tickets. Respond, don't worry. I'll give them back to you. Prompt 4. Your friend says, why are you looking so happy? Ooh. Respond, I just came across something exciting online. Excellent. Keep practicing this way until you can automatically respond with phrasal verbs without thinking too much. This is how fluency develops. Now, let's move to a slightly more advanced role play. Phone conversations. Speaking on the phone is challenging because you have to think quickly. Prompt 1. Your friend calls and says, hey, are you coming to the party? Keitin. Respond, yes, I'll show up around 8. Prompt 2. Your friend asks, did you bring the drinks? Respond, I forgot, but I'll pick them up on my way. Prompt 3. Your friend says, we have to cancel the meeting. Respond, okay, we can call it off and reschedule. Prompt 4. Your friend asks, why were you so late? Respond, I woke up late and didn't get up in time. Notice how phrasal verbs make your English sound more natural. Native speakers rarely say, I ended my work or I postponed my tasks. They use phrasal verbs like call off, put off, pick up, and wake up. Finally, let's practice storytelling with phrasal verbs. I will give you a short scenario, and you create a story using at least 5 phrasal verbs from our list. Scenario. You had a busy day at school or work. Example story. I woke up late and got up quickly. I packed up my bag and ran to the bus stop. Unfortunately, the bus broke down, so I had to call off my first meeting. I didn't give up, though. I carried on with my work at home, and then my friend showed up to cheer me up. Try to create your own story aloud. Include phrasal verbs like pick up, look after, make up, fill out, or come across. This kind of practice is powerful because it trains your brain to automatically use phrasal verbs in real-life contexts. We will focus on listening exercises. I will give you short passages full of phrasal verbs, and you will practice understanding them naturally, which is key to speaking fluently like a native. So far, you've learned 50 essential phrasal verbs. Practice them in sentences, conversations, and role-play exercises. Now it's time to strengthen your listening skills. Understanding phrasal verbs when others speak is one of the hardest parts for English learners. In this section, I will read short passages using many phrasal verbs naturally. Your job is to listen carefully, and after each passage, I will repeat slowly so you can say it aloud with me. Let's begin with a daily life scenario. Listen carefully. Yesterday morning, I woke up late and didn't get up until 9. I quickly packed up my bag and ran to the bus stop. Unfortunately, the bus broke down, so I had to call off my meeting. I didn't give up, though. I carried on with my work at home, and later my friend showed up to cheer me up. While hanging out, I came across an interesting book in the bookstore, and I picked it up. Now, let's repeat slowly together. I woke up late and didn't get up until 9. Repeat aloud. I woke up late and didn't get up until 9. I quickly packed up my bag and ran to the bus stop. Repeat aloud. I quickly packed up my bag and ran to the bus stop. The bus broke down, so I had to call off my meeting. Repeat aloud. The bus broke down, so I had to call off my meeting. I didn't give up. I carried on with my work at home. Repeat aloud. I didn't give up. I carried on with my work at home. My friend showed up to cheer me up. Repeat aloud. My friend showed up to cheer me up. I came across an interesting book and picked it up. Repeat aloud. I came across an interesting book and picked it up. Excellent. Do you notice how smoothly phrasal verbs appear in natural speech? Listening like this helps your brain recognize patterns instead of translating word by word. Next, let's try a work-related scenario. Listen. This morning, I got up early to prepare for an important presentation. I went over my notes one last time. Suddenly, my computer broke down. I had to call the IT department and fill out a repair form. My colleague showed up to help me, and we worked out a solution together. Finally, I was able to give back the completed report to my boss. Now let's break it down slowly. I got up early to prepare for an important presentation. Repeat. I got up early to prepare for an important presentation. I went over my notes one last time. Repeat. I went over my notes one last time. My computer broke down. I had to call the IT department. Repeat. My computer broke down. I had to call the IT department. I had to fill out a repair form. Repeat. I had to fill out a repair form. My colleague showed up to help me. Repeat. My colleague showed up to help me. We worked out a solution together. Repeat. We worked out a solution together. I was able to give back the completed report to my boss. Repeat. I was able to give back the completed report to my boss. Perfect. Notice how many phrasal verbs you can now understand in a longer passage. This is exactly what you will encounter when listening to native speakers in real life. Let's do one travel scenario, which is also very common. Listen. Last weekend, I went on a short trip. I packed up my clothes and got up early to catch the train. At the station, I looked for my ticket and came across an old friend. We decided to hang out for a while. Later, the train was delayed, so we had to call off our original plan. But we didn't give up. We went on an adventure in the city instead, and everything worked out perfectly. Now repeat slowly together. I packed up my clothes and got up early to catch the train. Repeat aloud. I packed up my clothes and got up early to catch the train. I looked for my ticket and came across an old friend. Repeat aloud. I looked for my ticket and came across an old friend. We decided to hang out for a while. Repeat aloud. We decided to hang out for a while. The train was delayed, so we had to call off our original plan. Repeat aloud. The train was delayed, so we had to call off our original plan. We didn't give up. We went on an adventure in the city instead. Repeat aloud. We didn't give up. We went on an adventure in the city instead. Everything worked out perfectly. Repeat aloud. Everything worked out perfectly. Fantastic. By listening and repeating, you are training your brain to recognize phrasal verbs in real contexts. Soon, you won't need to think about them. They will come naturally. We will combine listening and speaking. I will give you short exercises where you hear a passage and then speak your own version using phrasal verbs, making it active, not just passive. So far, you have learned 50 phrasal verbs. Practice them in sentences, stories, and conversations, and even done listening exercises. Now it's time to take your learning to the next level with active listening and speaking. This means you listen carefully to a passage and then retell it using your own words while including phrasal verbs. This trains your brain to think in English and use phrasal verbs naturally. Let's start with a daily routine scenario. I will read a passage slowly. Listen carefully. After that, pause and tell your own version aloud. Listen. Today, I woke up early and got up right away. I packed up my bag, had breakfast, and went to the bus stop. Unfortunately, the bus broke down, so I had to call off my first meeting. I didn't give up, though. I carried on with my work at home. Later, my friend showed up and cheered me up. While hanging out, I came across a new bookstore and picked up an interesting book. Now, pause and retell the story in your own words, making sure to include phrasal verbs like wake up, get up, pack up, break down, call off, give up, carry on, show up, hang out, come across, and pick up. Speak slowly and clearly. Excellent. Repeating this exercise every day will improve your fluency dramatically. Next, let's try a work scenario. Listen carefully. I got up early to prepare for a big presentation. I went over my notes one last time. Suddenly, my computer broke down, and I had to call the IT department. I filled out a repair form and waited. My colleague showed up to help me, and we worked out a solution together. Finally, I was able to give back the completed report to my boss. Now, pause and retell this story in your own words, using phrasal verbs like get up, go over, break down, call, fill out, show up, work out, and give back. Perfect. You can already feel that using phrasal verbs actively in speech is different from just memorizing their meanings. The more you practice this, the faster they will come to you naturally. Let's try a travel scenario. Listen carefully. Last weekend, I went on a short trip. I packed up my clothes and got up early to catch the train. At the station, I looked for my ticket and came across an old friend. We decided to hang out for a while. Later, the train was delayed, so we had to call off our original plan, but we didn't give up. We went on an adventure in the city instead, and everything worked out perfectly. Now, pause and retell this story aloud, including phrasal verbs like pack up, get up, look for, come across, hang out, call off, give up, go on, and work out. Amazing. You are now connecting, listening, speaking, and phrasal verbs at the same time. This is exactly how native speakers learn naturally. Let's do one more interactive exercise. I will give you prompts, and you respond aloud using phrasal verbs. Speak full sentences, and try to be as natural as possible. Prompt 1. Your friend asks, "Why are you late?" Answer using a phrasal verb. Example, I woke up late and didn't get up on time. Prompt 2. Your colleague asks, "Did you finish the report?" Answer using a phrasal verb. Example, not yet. I had to put it off until later. Prompt 3. Your sibling says, "Do you want to play video games?" Yeah. Answer using a phrasal verb. Example, sure. Let's hang out for a while. Prompt 4. Your friend asks, "Did you see that new movie?" Answer using a phrasal verb. Example, yes. I came across it online yesterday. Prompt 5. Your teacher asks, "Can you explain your homework?" Answer using a phrasal verb. Example, yes. I will go over it with you now. Excellent. Keep practicing like this every day. Remember, the key to fluency is listening, speaking, and repeating. The more you use phrasal verbs in context, the more natural they will become. We will focus on writing exercises using phrasal verbs. Writing helps your brain internalize phrasal verbs even faster and improves your overall English skills. Up to now, you have learned all 50 phrasal verbs. Practice them in sentences, conversations, role plays, and even active listening. Now it's time to strengthen your skills through writing exercises. Writing is one of the best ways to internalize phrasal verbs because it forces you to think actively about how to use them in context. We will start with simple sentence practice. I want you to write one sentence for each phrasal verb you learned. For example, wake up. I wake up at 7 every morning. Get up. I get up quickly after my alarm rings. Give up. I never give up on learning English. Continue writing sentences for other phrasal verbs like look after, pick up, put off, call off, run out of, cheer up, come across. Aim to write at least one sentence for each verb. You can use your own experiences to make it personal. Next, we will do mini stories. Pick 5 phrasal verbs and write a short story, connecting them naturally. For example, yesterday, I woke up late and didn't get up until 9. I packed up my bag and ran to the bus stop. Unfortunately, the bus broke down, so I had to call off my meeting. I didn't give up, though. Later, my friend showed up and cheered me up. Notice how writing this story helps your brain link phrasal verbs to actions and situations. Now, let's try dialogue writing practice. Imagine a conversation with a friend or family member and use at least 5 phrasal verbs in the dialogue. For example, friend, why are you so tired? You, I woke up late and didn't get up on time. Friend, did you finish your homework? You, no, I put it off until tonight. Friend, do you want to hang out later? You, sure. I'll pick you up at 7. Writing dialogues like this trains your brain to create natural conversations in English. Next, let's do real-life scenario writing exercises. I will give you a situation, and you will write a short paragraph using at least 5 phrasal verbs. Scenario 1. You are at work, and your computer breaks down. Try to include phrasal verbs like break down, call off, fill out, show up, work out. Example paragraph. This morning, my computer broke down, so I had to call off my first task. I filled out a repair form and waited for IT to show up. Luckily, we worked out a solution quickly, and I finished my work on time. Scenario 2. You are planning a weekend trip with friends. Include phrasal verbs like pack up, get up, pick up, hang out, come across. Example paragraph. Last weekend, I packed up my bag and got up early to catch the bus. I picked up my friend, and we decided to hang out in the city. While exploring, we came across a small cafe with amazing coffee. Scenario 3. You are talking about your day at school or college. Include phrasal verbs like go over, catch up, look after, make up, show up. Example paragraph. Today, I went over my notes before class. I had to catch up on assignments I missed last week. My friend looked after my books while I was busy, and I made up a presentation for the class. Everyone showed up on time, and the lesson went smoothly. Finally, try weekly journaling practice. Each day, write about your experiences using at least 5 phrasal verbs in your journal. For example, Monday, I woke up late but got up quickly. I packed up my bag and went to school. I ran out of time to eat breakfast, but I didn't give up and carried on with my work. Later, my friend cheered me up. Journaling helps you practice phrasal verbs daily, think in English, and improve writing and speaking fluency at the same time. We will focus on speaking fluency exercises, where you will practice speaking for longer periods using phrasal verbs naturally, almost like storytelling. You have learned all 50 phrasal verbs. Practice them in sentences, conversations, role plays, listening, and writing. Now it's time to speak fluently. Speaking fluently means using phrasal verbs naturally, without pausing to think too much. In this part, we will do exercises to practice storytelling, describing experiences, and speaking continuously using phrasal verbs. Let's start with daily life storytelling. I will give you a scenario, and you should try to speak aloud for at least 1 minute using as many phrasal verbs as possible. Don't worry about mistakes, fluency comes first. Scenario 1. Your morning routine. Example. Today, I woke up early and got up quickly. I packed up my bag and had breakfast. I ran out of time to finish everything, but I didn't give up. I carried on with my work and later hung out with my friend. We came across a nice park and picked up some snacks for a picnic. Everything worked out in the end. Now, pause and retell your own morning routine aloud, using phrasal verbs like wake up, get up, pack up, run out of, give up, carry on, hang out, come across, pick up, work out. Speak slowly and clearly. Next, let's practice telling a story about a recent trip or outing. Example, last weekend, I packed up my suitcase and got up very early. I picked up my friend, and we went on a short trip. At the station, we came across a small cafe and decided to hang out there for a while. Later, our train was delayed, so we had to call off our original plan, but we didn't give up. We went on an adventure in the city, and everything worked out perfectly. Now, speak about a trip you had, using phrasal verbs like pack up, get up, pick up, come across, hang out, call off, give up, go on, work out. Try to speak continuously for at least 1 minute. Let's try a work or school experience. Example: yesterday, I got up early to prepare for an important presentation. I went over my notes one last time. Suddenly, my computer broke down, so I had to call the IT department. I filled out a repair form and waited. My colleague showed up to help me, and we worked out a solution together. Finally, I was able to give back the completed report to my boss. Now, describe a work or school day using phrasal verbs like get up, go over, break down, call, fill out, show up, work out, give back. Speak fluently for at least 1 minute. Next, let's do an imaginative story. This helps creativity and forces you to use phrasal verbs in a fun, natural way. Scenario: imagine you are a detective solving a mystery. Try to tell the story aloud using at least 10 phrasal verbs. Example: I woke up early and got up quickly. I packed up my detective tools and went to the crime scene. I came across a suspicious note and picked it up. Suddenly, the suspect showed up, and I had to run out of the room to call for backup. I didn't give up and carried on with my investigation. In the end, everything worked out. Now, create your own imaginative story aloud, using as many phrasal verbs as you can. Focus on speaking continuously, not stopping to translate. Finally, we will practice speaking fluency exercises with prompts. I will give you prompts, and you speak for 30-60 seconds using phrasal verbs. Prompt 1. Describe your day at school or work. Prompt 2. Tell a story about a time you helped someone. Prompt 3. Talk about a challenge you didn't give up on. Prompt 4. Describe a fun outing with friends or family. Prompt 5. Share a time you discovered something interesting unexpectedly. Remember, the goal is fluency first, accuracy second. Speak naturally, use phrasal verbs as much as possible, and your English will start to sound more like a native speaker. We will focus on advanced practice, combining multiple phrasal verbs in longer paragraphs and extended storytelling to increase your confidence and comfort with English. By now, you know 50 essential phrasal verbs, and you've practiced them in sentences, conversations, role plays, listening, writing, and speaking exercises. Now it's time to combine them all in longer, connected stories. Extended storytelling is a powerful method because it trains your brain to think in English. Link actions naturally, and use phrasal verbs without stopping to translate. Let's start with a daily life story. I will give you an example. Then you will pause and retell it in your own words aloud, using as many phrasal verbs as possible. Example: yesterday was a busy day. I woke up late and didn't get up until 9. I quickly packed up my bag, ran to the bus stop. But the bus broke down. I had to call off my first meeting, but I didn't give up. I carried on with my work at home. Later, my friend showed up and cheered me up. While hanging out, I came across a bookstore and picked up an interesting book. I went over the chapters carefully, made up my mind to read every day, and everything worked out in the end. Now, pause and tell your own daily life story using phrasal verbs like wake up, get up, pack up, run to, break down, call off, give up, carry on, show up, cheer up, hang out, come across, pick up, go over, make up, work out. Try to speak continuously for at least 2 minutes. Next, let's do a travel story. Travel stories naturally use many phrasal verbs, making them ideal for practice. Example: last weekend, I packed up my suitcase and got up very early. I picked up my friend, and we went to the train station. We looked for our tickets and came across an old friend who joined us. We hung out at a cafe for a while, but our train was delayed, so we had to call off our original plan. We didn't give up and went on an adventure in the city. Along the way, we ran into another friend, and we decided to go on a sightseeing tour together. Everything worked out, and we picked up some souvenirs before heading home. Now, pause and tell your own travel story aloud. Use phrasal verbs like pack up, get up, pick up, look for, come across, hang out, call off, give up, go on, run into, work out, pick up, speak fluently for at least 2 to 3 minutes. Next, we will do a work or school extended story. Example, yesterday, I got up early to prepare for a big presentation. I went over my notes several times. Suddenly, my computer broke down, and I had to call the IT department. I filled out a repair form, but the technician didn't show up on time. I didn't give up. I carried on with my research, and luckily my colleague showed up to help me. Together, we worked out a solution. In the end, I was able to give back the completed report to my boss, and everything worked out perfectly. Now, pause and tell your own work or school story aloud, using phrasal verbs like get up, go over, break down, call, fill out, show up, give up, carry on, work out, give back, pick up, speak continuously for at least 2 minutes. Finally, let's do an imaginative story. This is a fun way to push your creativity and use phrasal verbs in unexpected ways. Scenario: you are a detective solving a mystery. Example: I woke up early and got up quickly. I packed up my detective tools and went to the crime scene. I came across a strange note and picked it up. Suddenly, the suspect showed up, and I had to run out of the room to call for backup. I didn't give up and carried on with my investigation. Later, I hung out at a cafe to observe people, and I ran into an old colleague who helped me. In the end, everything worked out, and I solved the case. Now, create your own imaginative story aloud, using as many phrasal verbs as you can. Aim for at least 3 minutes of continuous speaking. Extended storytelling like this is powerful because it trains your brain to link phrasal verbs to actions, events, and situations naturally. The more you practice, the more fluent and confident you will become. We will focus on listening to native speakers using phrasal verbs in real conversations, which will help you recognize them instantly and improve your comprehension. By now, you've learned all 50 phrasal verbs. Practice them in sentences, conversations, role plays, writing, and storytelling. The next step is listening to native speakers. Native speakers use phrasal verbs naturally in everyday conversations, and understanding them is crucial to sounding fluent. In this part, I will read short natural conversations using phrasal verbs. Listen carefully and repeat aloud. Then, you will try to predict or respond using phrasal verbs in your own version of the conversation. Let's start with a daily life conversation. Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thanks. I just got up and had breakfast. Oh, did you wake up early today? Yes. I didn't want to give up on my morning workout. That's great. Are you going to hang out with friends later? Yes. I'll pick up my friend at 3, and we will go to the park. Sounds fun. I hope everything works out. Thanks. I also came across a new cafe yesterday, so we might check it out. Now, repeat aloud slowly, focusing on these phrasal verbs: get up, wake up, give up, hang out, pick up, work out, come across, next. Let's try a work-related conversation. Did you finish the report? Not yet. I had to put off some tasks because my computer broke down. That's frustrating. Did I show up to fix it? Yes. They came and worked out the problem. I'm going to go over the data now. Great. Don't forget to give back the completed report to the manager. Of course. I'll hand it over this afternoon. Repeat aloud and focus on put off, break down, show up, work out, go over, give back, hand over. Now, a travel conversation. Are you ready for the trip? Yes. I packed up last night. I'll pick you up at 6. Perfect. Did you come across any good restaurants near the hotel? Yes. I found a small cafe. We can hang out there before the tour. That's great. Let's not give up if the train is delayed. Of course. We'll work it out and still have fun. Repeat aloud. Pack up, pick up, come across, hang out, give up, work out. Next. Let's do a phone conversation. Hi, are you coming to the party tonight? Yes. I'll show up around 8. Did you bring the drinks? Not yet. I'll pick them up on my way. Oh no. We had to call off the game first. That's okay. We'll carry on with the party. Great. I'm looking forward to it. Focus on show up, pick up, call off, carry on. Look forward to. Repeat aloud. Finally, we'll do a longer natural conversation. Listen carefully and try to retell it in your own words aloud. Yesterday, I woke up late and didn't get up until 9. I packed up my bag and ran to the bus stop. But the bus broke down. I had to call off my first meeting. I didn't give up, though. I carried on with my work at home. Later, my friend showed up and cheered me up. While hanging out, we came across a bookstore and picked up some books. Everything worked out in the end. Now pause and retell this conversation aloud, including phrasal verbs like wake up, get up, pack up, run to, break down, call off, give up, carry on, show up, cheer up, hang out, come across, pick up, work out. By practicing these native-style conversations, your listening skills will improve, and your brain will automatically recognize phrasal verbs in real-life situations. Soon, you will not need to think about their meanings. You'll understand them instantly. We will focus on real-life application exercises, where you combine speaking, listening, and writing to use phrasal verbs in practical, everyday situations. Up to now, you have learned all 50 phrasal verbs. Practice them in sentences, conversations, role plays, writing, storytelling, and listening. Now it's time to apply them in real-life situations. This is the final step before you reach fluency, because using phrasal verbs naturally in everyday situations is what native speakers do without even thinking. Let's start with daily life activities. Imagine your day from morning to night and try to describe it aloud, or write it in your journal using phrasal verbs. Example: today, I woke up early and got up right away. I packed up my bag and had breakfast. I ran out of time to finish everything, but I didn't give up. I carried on with my work at home. Later, my friend showed up and cheered me up. While hanging out, we came across a new cafe and picked up some snacks. Everything worked out perfectly. Now, describe your own day aloud or write it down, using phrasal verbs like wake up, get up, pack up, run out of, give up, carry on, show up, cheer up, hang out, come across, pick up, work out. Next, let's practice problem-solving situations. These situations often involve phrasal verbs when explaining actions. Scenario 1. You missed your bus? Example: I woke up late, got up quickly, and ran to the bus stop. But the bus broke down. I didn't give up. I carried on by taking another bus, and everything worked out. Scenario 2. Your friend forgot something. Example: my friend forgot to pack up their bag, so I picked it up for them. Later, we hung out together and came across a nice cafe. Everything worked out. Scenario 3. At work or school. Example: my computer broke down, so I had to call IT. They didn't show up immediately, but I didn't give up. I carried on with my tasks, and eventually, we worked out a solution. Try creating your own problem-solving stories aloud or in writing, using at least 5 phrasal verbs for each scenario. Now, let's do planning and organizing exercises. These often use phrasal verbs in real life. Scenario 1. Planning a weekend outing. Example: I packed up my things and got up early. I picked up my friend, and we went to the park. Along the way, we came across a bookstore and picked up some books. Everything worked out. Scenario 2. Preparing for an exam or project. Example: I went over my notes, filled out all forms, and caught up on assignments. I didn't give up, and I carried on practicing until I felt confident. In the end, everything worked out perfectly. Scenario 3. Helping someone. Example: my friend missed the bus, so I picked them up. We hung out while waiting for the next bus, and we came across a small cafe. I cheered them up, and everything worked out. Next, practice conversations with friends or colleagues using phrasal verbs in real contexts. Speak aloud, imagining a real situation. Prompt 1. A friend asks, "Why are you late?" Respond with phrasal verbs. Example: I woke up late and didn't get up on time. Prompt 2. A colleague asks, "Did you finish the report?" Respond: I had to put it off, but I'll catch up this afternoon. Prompt 3. A friend asks, "Do you want to meet later?" Respond: "Sure. I'll pick you up at 7. Prompt 4. A sibling asks, "What are you doing?" Respond: I'm going over my notes for tomorrow's class. Prompt 5. A friend asks, "Did you discover anything new?" Respond: "Yes. I came across a new cafe while walking in the city." Finally, practice daily journaling using real-life situations and phrasal verbs. Writing a short paragraph every day with at least 5 phrasal verbs trains your brain to think and express in English naturally. For example, today, I woke up early, packed up my bag, and got to school on time. I went over my notes before class and carried on with my assignments. After school, I hung out with my friends, and we came across a new park. Everything worked out perfectly. By practicing real-life applications, you are connecting all the skills: listening, speaking, writing, and thinking in English. This is what makes learning phrasal verbs truly effective. We will focus on review, consolidation, and tips to continue improving fluency with phrasal verbs, so you can speak English naturally like a native. Congratulations for making it this far. You have learned 50 essential phrasal verbs. Practice them in sentences, conversations, role plays, listening, writing, storytelling, extended speaking, and real-life applications. Now it's time to review, consolidate, and make sure you can use them naturally and confidently. Let's start with reviewing the phrasal verbs. I will list some key ones and give example sentences. Speak aloud as you repeat them to reinforce memory. Wake up. I wake up at 6 every morning. Get up. I get up as soon as my alarm rings. Give up. I never give up when learning English. Pack up. I packed up my bag before leaving. Pick up. I will pick up my friend at 5. Put off. I had to put off my homework until tonight. Call off. We had to call off the meeting. I ran out of coffee this morning. Carry on. I carried on studying even when I was tired. Show up. He didn't show up for class. I came across an interesting article online. Hang out. We hung out at the park yesterday. Work out. Everything worked out in the end. Look after. I look after my younger brother. Go over. Let's go over the lesson one more time. Fill out. I filled out the form carefully. Make up. I made up a story for the assignment. Give back. I gave back the borrowed book to my friend. Continue reviewing all 50 phrasal verbs this way, aloud, until you feel confident. Next, let's focus on consolidation through practice. Use these techniques daily. Daily journaling. Write 5 to 10 sentences or a short paragraph using at least 5 phrasal verbs. Include your real experiences. Storytelling. Speak for 2-3 minutes about your day, a trip, or a past experience using phrasal verbs. Listening practice. Watch English videos, podcasts, or conversations and notice phrasal verbs. Pause and repeat aloud. Role play. Imagine real-life situations and respond aloud with phrasal verbs. Speaking with friends. Use phrasal verbs naturally when talking to English-speaking friends or classmates. Now, let's discuss tips for continuing fluency. Think in English. Instead of translating from your native language, try to use phrasal verbs as native speakers do. Use context. Focus on the situation or action when choosing a phrasal verb. Practice in groups. Group phrasal verbs by topic like daily routine, work, travel, or friends. This makes it easier to remember. Mix phrasal verbs. In your speech or writing, try to combine multiple phrasal verbs in one story or paragraph. Review regularly. Repetition is key. Even 10 minutes per day, reviewing phrasal verbs will greatly improve retention. Record yourself. Listen to your own speaking to see which phrasal verbs sound natural and which need improvement. Set small goals. Focus on mastering 5-10 phrasal verbs each week, then gradually add more. Finally, motivation and consistency are the most important. Fluency with phrasal verbs doesn't happen overnight, but daily practice, active listening, speaking, writing, and real-life usage will make them second nature. Native speakers often use 10-20 phrasal verbs in one conversation, so your goal is to reach that comfort level. To summarize, review all 50 phrasal verbs regularly. Speak aloud and write sentences every day. Listen to native English content and repeat. Apply phrasal verbs in real-life situations naturally. Combine multiple phrasal verbs in stories and conversations. Stay motivated, consistent, and confident. Congratulations! By completing this 15-part course, you now have the tools to speak English naturally like a native, understand phrasal verbs in conversations, and use them confidently in writing and storytelling. Keep practicing, and soon, phrasal verbs will feel like a natural part of your English. Remember, fluency comes from using, not just memorizing. Speak, listen, write, and think in English every day, and you will continue improving. Thank you for learning with me, Lauren, here on Learnify English. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and enjoy your journey to speaking English like a native. You've got this.